The Lone Star State could soon be getting its own stock exchange, headquartered in downtown Dallas. A group called the Texas Stock Exchange says it's taking steps to facilitate trading as early as next year. But one key player in that group has been in the conflict with the state over its environmental and social governance investments. Monica Madden spoke with the State Comptroller about the plan and what it could mean for Texas.
Investors are bullish about the opening of a Texas stock exchange.
What it shows more than anything else is Texas is open for business.
The state's top accountant not surprised a group of financiers want to cement Dallas as the financial capital of the South.
In the last decade alone, Texas has moved from the 12th largest economy in the entire world to now the 8th largest economy.
One of the leading firms is BlackRock, which has had a complicated relationship with Texas recently. In March, the state divested $8.5 billion due to its ESG policies. That's when companies weigh the environmental, social, and governance impacts of an investment rather than solely the financial benefits. Has anything changed in terms of relationship between the state and BlackRock?
That while they may still be quote unquote boycotting the oil and gas industry per the list, they are trying other efforts to show that they want to be a willing participant in the state of Texas.
Governor Greg Abbott also echoed Comptroller Hagar's thoughts on CNBC.
BlackRock has been working to try to eliminate the tarnish on their reputation.
Adding a Texas market might give more companies more investment options.
We need to make sure that Texas companies and companies similarly situated are not going to be cut off but from capital markets in New York with policy decisions made from the left.
Regardless, it'll be quite some time before the exchange is up and running, with plenty of regulatory hurdles to clear first.
This is the first of many steps to come.
Monica Madden, State of Texas.
We want to dive a little deeper into the conflict between the state and BlackRock. The state accused BlackRock of boycotting oil and natural gas companies in its investments, which violates state law. BlackRock denies the accusation. Monica asked Comptroller Hagar why the state is still working with BlackRock.
I know BlackRock is one of the investors that has been super involved in this. Recently, though, the state has had qualms with BlackRock over ESG in particular. And now, of course, they're one of the leaders in this Texas Stock Exchange. Has anything changed in terms of relationship between the state and BlackRock in terms of just willingness to work together? Not that Texas isn't, but just with the ESG stuff in particular.
Yeah, as the agency, as the controller, my office is the one that keeps the list for those financial institutions that are quote unquote boycotting the oil and gas industry per state law. And so BlackRock continues to be on that list today. Obviously, they have made efforts with this as well as several other efforts in the state of Texas to show they're committed to the state of Texas. One of the things that I make a point to people is whether you're on that list or off that list, we want you to do business in Texas. And so I think this is an effort that while they may still be quote unquote boycotting the oil and gas industry per the list, they are trying other efforts to show that they want to be a willing participant in the state of Texas. And I've continued to say, as others, is that we want them to do business. And I think when it comes to the anti-ESG or the pushback, that's really to try to bring some common sense and balance to that discussion, that while people may want to enjoy renewable energy, we are one of the largest wind producers in the United States and around the world. And in fact, people may want to have better renewable sources. We also have to have dispatchable, readily sources so you and I can have this conversation. And so the point is really trying to bring that balance and that common sense discussion.
So how would having a stock exchange in Texas impact? Would it have an impact at all on the state's revenue or anything like that? Or would it just be kind of more attractive for yet another incentive for businesses to come? And
I think more than anything else, it highlights that Texas is kind of the epicenter of the growth of the U.S. economy, much of the world economy, and recognizing that Texas is really rooted and plans to continue to grow for quite some time economically it would be a benefit overall to the state revenues, in part because it's another reason for business to locate, root themselves here in Texas, whether it's in Austin, Houston, the Metroplex, San Antonio, or out in the other corners of the state of Texas.
What would be, I know they announced that they're launching this, but are there any challenges in terms of, the regulatory environment, getting approval from the SEC, all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first of many steps to come. And so this is the biggest step forward to say, yes, there's a commitment by several organizations and people that they want to set this up. And so therefore now there's obviously, you have two major exchanges here in the United States. There used to be more, but there's been consolidation like we've seen in so many other sectors. And so therefore there are challenges, but I think like so many things in Texas, we're always up for a challenge.
Hager told us it could take months, even years, before the exchange comes to fruition. If the plan moves forward, Texas would join 13 other existing stock exchanges in the U.S. market. For example, Chicago is home to 4 different stock exchanges. NYSE Chicago is the 3rd largest exchange system in the country. Many regional stock exchanges, including Chicago, Boston, and Philadelphia, have merged with the largest players, like the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ.
There are 4 million rural Texans, and sometimes those areas of the state are an afterthought.
Full hospital beds, but not enough caregivers. Some communities are struggling to find nurses. See how the state is stepping in now to help.